Every time the man finishes being intimate with his wife, he turns over and lies on the other side of the bed. When the wife deliberately gets closer to him, he immediately sits up. He glances at the clock by the bed. He tells his wife that it's time for her to leave. Seeing his wife unresponsive, the man has no choice but to go sleep in another room. Before leaving, he reminds the wife to drink the honey water on the bedside table. But after 3 years of marriage, the man doesn't know that his wife is allergic to honey. At this moment, the wife decides to end this one-sided marriage where only she has been giving. The next morning, she, as usual, carefully packs her pilot husband's suitcase. But the man doesn't even glance at her. He picks up the suitcase and heads out to fly his flight. The woman suddenly calls out to him, gathering the courage to ask for a divorce. She originally thought her husband would at least try to stop her. To her surprise, her husband agrees without saying a word. This leaves the woman with an indescribable sense of loss. After all, she had silently admired her husband for 10 years. Back in high school, the man was the popular figure in school. While she was just an unnoticed nobody, she would always hold a bottle of mineral water and watch the man from a distance, hoping for a chance to give that man water. But the school beauty ran over first, handing the man the thermos cup she had just drunk from. They looked so perfect together, so dazzling, and she stood to the side, looking like a joke. She could only quietly hide the bottle of mineral water behind her. She thought this unrequited love would quietly end. After graduation, the school beauty directly dumped the man and chose to go abroad. The proud man, who had never faced such a setback. From then on, he drowned his sorrows in alcohol every day, becoming depressed. The woman couldn't bear to watch him stay so negative. She silently stayed by his side. To heal his emotional wounds, the man signed a marriage contract with her, promising $2 million for a 3-year marriage. The woman agreed immediately, but the man always treated her like a gold digger. So for the past 3 years of marriage, he has been indifferent to her. Little did he know, the woman didn't marry him for money. Later, when the man became a captain, the woman also became a flight attendant. Every day, she would anxiously look at the flight schedule, secretly praying for her husband's safe return. But one day, the man came back with his first love. The two of them ate in the cafeteria, oblivious to the surroundings, looking like they were rekindling an old flame. The woman quietly watched them without saying a word. At this moment, the first love stood up first, saying she was the new flight attendant. The woman politely shook the first love's hand, because her marriage hadn't been made public. The first love always thought the man was single, so without hesitation, she gave him a piece of salmon from her plate. The surrounding colleagues, seeing this, began teasing, saying the man and the first love should never have broken up, that they were a perfect match. The woman, hearing these words, felt incredibly uncomfortable inside. She thought to herself that once the first love returned, she would completely lose. She didn't want to hold on to a man who didn't love her anymore. But just when she was about to divorce, she found out she was pregnant. This left her a little confused, not knowing what to do. She told the man about the pregnancy and expressed her desire to keep the child. In order to give the child a legitimate identity, she hoped they could delay the divorce. If the man didn't want to wait, then he should give her $1 million as compensation, and she would raise the child on her own. In response to these two proposals, the man remained silent. Half a month passed, and the woman still hadn't received a response from her husband. At this point, her best friend told her that the first love was going to marry the man, and that there were photos on social media of both meeting each other's parents.